Reacher Season 3 should leave this character behind. Adapted from a series of famous novels by Lee Child, Prime Video's Reacher has amassed a hefty fan base since its first season premiered in February 2022. Having just wrapped up its second season, the show continues to be a mega hit for the streaming platform and has already been renewed for a third season. Keeping in line with the books, each season pertains to one novel. However, they aren't in the same order. While the first season was adapted from The Killing Floor, the first book of the series, the second season was adapted from Bad Luck and Trouble, the 11th book of the series. However, given the nomadic nature of Reacher Alan Ritchson as a character, it doesn't hinder the series to adapt the books in such a way. Due to the show's chapter-like approach to Reacher's life, introducing a new cast of characters doesn't feel contrived or take away from Reacher's story. Because he endlessly travels the country with nothing more than a toothbrush in his pocket, the people he meets along the way, or the ones who come back into his life, make sense. Each book is another vignette of Reacher's life, and the series takes that into account and does it well. As such, it's easy to introduce new characters, as the show did most recently, and exclude characters from future seasons as the show progresses. While plenty of great characters were added to the show during Season 2, not all of them should return in Reacher Season 3, specifically one in particular, David O'Donnell, Sean Sipos. A former captain in the U.S. Army and a fellow member of the 110th Special Investigators Unit, headed by Reacher, O'Donnell became a full-time lawyer following his military stint. A good-looking, cocky playboy type during his time in the service, O'Donnell now fancies himself quite the family man with his wife and young children. Still notorious for the brass knuckles he carries with him at all times, O'Donnell isn't known to back down from a fight. Despite his domesticated life, his prior military skills haven't faded. As such, when he discovers his friend was murdered, he wastes no time jumping at the opportunity to help Reacher and the others figure out what happened. At the end of the day, O'Donnell's skills and current lifestyle exclude him from being needed in Season 3. While he does have political connections that helped Reacher contact Senator Lavoie in Season 2, it's not enough to warrant his entire presence in a new season. He's become a straight-laced family guy, which is great for O'Donnell's character, but it doesn't necessarily fit into Reacher's explosive world filled with gunfights and intense helicopter scenes anymore. Even Dixon, Serena Swan, suggested he bow out of the fight as the situation grew more dangerous. She made it clear they would all understand if he didn't want to continue their investigation because of his wife and kids. While O'Donnell stayed anyway and continued the investigation in Reacher's second season, his character quickly began to feel unnecessary. That isn't to say he's not a good character or doesn't serve a purpose. Instead, he became a regular family guy who doesn't need to be in a firefight. He only stayed because France's, Luke Billick, death was personal to him. The 110th Special Investigators were a unique unit with a familial bond, so in many ways, O'Donnell had skin in the game. It's highly unlikely that Season 3 will include anything that personal to him again, which means he doesn't need to be there. As we eagerly await Reacher Season 3, there's plenty of speculation about where the story will head next. Alan Ritchson's portrayal of Jack Reacher in the first two seasons has resonated with fans, capturing the essence of the character from Lee Child's novels, tough, brooding, and almost superhuman in his physicality and intellect. The first two seasons have introduced memorable characters, intricate plots, and thrilling action sequences. However, not all of these characters need to continue into the next installment, especially one in particular, Frances Neagley. Neagley, played by Maria Sten, was introduced in Season 1 as a former military colleague of Reacher's. She is a key character in several of Lee Child's novels, often serving as Reacher's trusted ally and an extension of his sharp instincts. In the show, she is tough, resourceful, and fiercely loyal, everything you'd expect from someone Reacher trusts. Yet despite her presence and contribution to the plot in both seasons, Neagley's character arc feels like it has already reached a natural conclusion, and forcing her into another season may not be in the show's best interest. Here's why Reacher Season 3 might do better without her. 1. Neagley's potential has already been fulfilled. Neagley has been a significant presence in both of Reacher's TV outings so far, particularly in the first season. Her ability to operate on the same level as Reacher in terms of intellect and combat skills made her a compelling sidekick, someone who didn't just rely on Reacher, but could handle herself in dangerous situations. However, her character arc feels complete. In the novels, Neely's recurring role is similar, a capable ally who occasionally shows up but never overshadows Reacher. In the show, her background is explored enough to give her depth without taking too much of the spotlight. Her loyalty and respect for Reacher are clear, but she never shows any inclination to stray too far from her private security work. By the end of Season 2, it feels as though she's done everything she needs to do to support Reacher, and continuing to feature her might risk repetitive storytelling. Her role could easily become stale if it is overused. 2. Reacher works best as a solo hero. One of the defining traits of Jack Reacher is his loner persona. While he occasionally teams up with others, Reacher thrives on his independence. The novels reflect this, as he often drifts from town to town, solving problems alone. Although the show hasn't shied away from introducing allies and sidekicks like Neely, too much reliance on the same supporting characters can detract from the core of who Reacher is, a lone wolf. Reacher's strength lies in his ability to assess, act, and deliver justice without much help. Neely's presence in Season 1 made sense, as she was a key part of the military mystery being unraveled. However, in Season 3, Reacher's journey should be less about relying on familiar allies, and more about him operating as the singular force that fans know from the novels. Moving beyond Neely allows Reacher to confront new challenges on his own, showing audiences once again why he's such a unique character. 3. Fresh characters will keep the story dynamic. Every season of Reacher should aim to bring fresh faces into the fold, introducing new characters that challenge and complement Reacher in unique ways. In the novels, Reacher rarely stays in one place long enough to form long-term bonds, and the show should reflect this nomadic lifestyle. Season 3 has the opportunity to introduce new allies or even adversaries that test Reacher in ways Neely cannot. By leaving Neely behind, the showrunners can inject new energy into the series. New characters bring new dynamics, creating more tension, uncertainty, and excitement. While fans might have grown fond of Neely, the prospect of meeting fresh personalities adds to the unpredictability of each season. Reacher works best when we're not sure who he can trust or how relationships will evolve. 4. Avoiding predictability. One risk of keeping a character like Neely around for too long is the potential for predictability. We know Neely is loyal to Reacher and that their bond is rock solid. If she continues into Season 3, her role would likely remain static, serving as the reliable sidekick who Reacher can always turn to when in need of backup. While this works in small doses, it could become predictable and reduce the tension the show thrives on. The beauty of the Reacher series lies in its constant twists, surprises, and sense of danger. Keeping Neely around too long could undermine that unpredictability, making Reacher's journey feel less risky. By leaving her behind, Season 3 can re-establish the sense that Reacher is on his own, constantly navigating new and treacherous situations. Conclusion. Frances Neely has been an excellent addition to the Reacher series, adding depth and a strong counterbalance to Reacher's solitary nature. However, Season 3 should mark the point where the show moves beyond her. With Neely's character arc feeling complete, Reacher's narrative should refocus on his independence and ability to navigate new challenges without relying on the same